Hello and welcome. Well, 3 days in at the taping of this show and the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Michigan, and we've got tons of news from the Great White North. We've got news from Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Cadillac, Hyundai, Nissan, Ford, Honda, and Jeep. First up on the list, a group of journalists actually goes out every year and they vote on and they whittle down from a big pack of automobiles the North American International Car of the Year and Truck of the Year awards. Now I know we teased this back in I think it was late November, early December, but now we've got official results from the Detroit Motor Show at who the Car of the Year and Truck of the Year, and we'll focus on the Car of the Year first. First up on the list out of the top three that were voted on, Honda's brand new Accord. Also in this list was Ford's brand new Fusion, but the winner was Cadillac's brand new rear-wheel drive platform, the Cadillac ATS, their AKA 3 Series fighter. And supposedly everything I've heard about this vehicle, it is pretty doggone good. Exciting engine lineup, and obviously an all-new departure for Cadillac, making an actual smaller performance sedan. And I hope that they could go head-to-head with the 3 Series. So, big kudos for Cadillac there. In the truck side, some of these don't really look like trucks, and that's always a fight when it comes to this deal every year. Ford's brand new C-Max Hybrid was in on this list. Also, Mazda's brand new CX-5. But the winner of this group was the Ram 1500. Now, a lot of new stuff coming out of this vehicle, from the new Pentasar V6 to that brand new 8-speed gearbox, also the new air ride suspension. There's a lot of talk that this is the template for what it's going to take to try to hit fuel economy numbers in the future, and Dodge is the first one out with it with their Ram division and the Ram 1500. So big kudos to the Ram truck guys and also the Cadillac guys. Now, first up on the show floor, this is a cruddy picture, but this is Audi's brand new RS7. First time the RS7 will come to the United States, and this thing's going to have a brand new 4-liter V8 turbocharged engine. It's going to be putting out 560 brake horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Now, this car is a pretty big car, but listen to this, 0 to 60 numbers in 3.7 seconds. This thing's going to be an absolute beast, and you can take all your friends with you in it too. Cannot wait to see this hit Audi showrooms, and it will be hitting showrooms soon. Mercedes actually did a weird thing. They showed off the brand new CLA, but this is nowhere to be found on the Detroit Motor Show floor, as they showed this car off in a press conference and then whisked it away to wherever it went. Now, it's not a bad-looking machine. This is their all-new entry-level platform. It's going to be pretty affordable. Try to bring in entry-level buyers to Mercedes-Benz. It's going to be an all front-wheel drive platform, all 4-cylinder engines in this vehicle. They're talking about it going on sale in the third quarter or around the fall of 2013. Cadillac showed off a little bit more of a production-ready ELR. If you don't know much about the ELR, it's basically a way sexier Chevrolet Volt. The little Cadillac two-door coupe, they have officially said will go on sale in January of 2014. Now, no talk of wow, this vehicle is going to cost and whatnot, but a lot of insiders think it's going to be around $60,000 to $70,000. And they're talking about maybe a little bit of a more of a high-performance option when it comes to that Volt drivetrain. I tell you what, the looks alone will sell this automobile. So I cannot wait to see this hit Cadillac showrooms. Hyundai shows off their brand new HCD-14 Genesis concept. Now, from the front, this car is not very attractive, but Hyundai says when you peek at this car to squint a little bit. I know, that's exactly what they said. And you may get to see some of the architecture that may be the new Genesis sedan. Now, you may just see, if you look at it a little closer, at least a little bit parts and pieces wise of what may be the new architecture as far as styling for Hyundai moving forward. So, beautiful car from the rear. I'm not real sure about that front end, but exciting stuff out of Hyundai and exciting stuff out of the automobile world, seeing real-world concepts instead of seeing just maybe closer production version concepts, showing that the automotive world as a whole is alive and well, and at least functioning, making a little bit more cash. Nissan's in the news. The all-new Nissan Leaf hasn't sold as well as it probably should have, with prices in the mid-30s, even though you get a little bit of a tax break from the government. Nissan's Carlos Ghosn actually came out this week and said they're going to slash prices on this automobile. They're going to have a decontented version of the Nissan Leaf. And if you've ever wanted an all-electric version, I'm assuming you can still get the discounts from the government too, which is going to mean this thing is going to be downright affordable. Like I said, if you want an all-electric car, don't walk, but run down to the Nissan dealership. The new prices for this thing is going to be $28,800 starting off, so not a bad deal if you want an all-electric automobile. Sticking with the new wave of automobiles, the hybrids, at least the EPA is going to change how they're testing hybrids. Now, in the past, these hybrids have shown these huge fuel economy numbers that nobody in the real world's been able to get. So the EPA is actually going to change their ways a little bit and try to get the numbers back down to a little bit normal of a number that you and I could get anytime you stepped into a hybrid. Now, we're talking about numbers going down as far as fuel economy numbers, anywhere from somewhere around 3 to maybe upwards of 8 miles per gallon, depending on city or highway driving. So at least it'll make it a little bit more easier for normal people to try to, instead of the hypermilers, to get that kind of mileage. So at least decent news out of the EPA. They're going to change their ways. Now let's look at something from Ford. Ford didn't want to be on the back bench when it came to General Motors showing off their brand new pickup truck lineup, and they're going to show off their brand new Atlas. This could be the Ford F-150 of the future. Now, if you want to take a little bit closer look at this vehicle, there's a video posted on the Motor Cars Enthusiast Facebook page if you want to check it out. But I tell you what, the interior is stunning on this vehicle, and there is no way that any of this stuff will make the production vehicle, but it's still beautiful to look at nonetheless. Now, this obviously isn't going to be the new wave of what the F-150 is going to look like, but I bet you can picture a lot of this stuff actually making the F-150 that we'll see in the future. Next up on the list, Honda and Acura were showing off the brand new NSX concept that's way closer to production version of this particular automobile. This thing was designed in California and Ohio and will actually be built in Ohio here in the United States. And now we've got some little bit closer idea of what the vehicle's powertrain is going to be. And it's a lot like what a lot of people rumored. It will have a direct injection V6 that will be mid-mounted, and it's going to have 3 electric engines. One electric motor is going to actually help the V6 make power, and the other 2 will actually be used to make power to the front wheels, which does mean that this thing will be an all-wheel drive, and it does mean that this thing probably will be a screamer 0 to 60. Cannot wait to see the production version actual come out, and actually these things hit Honda showrooms. Next up on the list, Jeep, oddly enough, came out. The brand new Grand Cherokee's only been out for, what, 2 years? Now they're going to do a refresh version of it. Brand new nose on this particular automobile. And a little bit of changes inside and out comes to the brand new Jeep. Now the new Cherokee is going to have the V6 and the Hemi option obviously in this vehicle. And they will get the all-new 8-speed transmission that everybody's been clamoring for. The new ZF gearbox will make its debut in a Hemi. It's been talked about for a long, long time, but we haven't seen it as of yet. And also the 8-speed's going to make its debut in the SRT version of the all-new Jeep. Talking 0 to 60 number is going to be dead on the same, mainly because it has to shift to 3rd gear in the 8-speed rather than just 2nd gear in the 5-speed. Also, big news, there's going to be a diesel version of this. Obviously not SRT, but there's going to be a diesel version of the new Grand Cherokee. So if you want to hyper-mile a SUV, a big SUV, perfect opportunity with the diesel option. And if you want to check us out on Facebook, you can check us out, just search Motor Cars Enthusiasts on Facebook. You can also subscribe to the show and get an idea of when the new shows come out earlier than most everybody, unless you're a subscriber. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.